You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Go for it, Jim. Climb the ladder, kid. Make yourself famous.
A podcast covering all things WWE.
I have now returned to save the WWE.
NXT.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
And AEW.
Holy wrestling. I couldn't be more happy.
Here are your hosts, Kyle Gagliardi and Jim Tucker.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks. I'm your host, Kyle Gagliardi, and the man joining me to my left this time is my co-host, Jim Tucker. Jim, how we doing?
Spent a while in the shower.
Yeah.
Episode 1 clearly missed me.
Yes.
And then, it happened. I appreciate the strobe effect. You got to check that out. Go to our Twitter. It's hashtag Where's Tucky. Episode
2.
No, it's not episode.
Oh, yeah.
It just
Well, I
says
didn't
episodes.
put the 2 in there, so we're just going to call it episode now. That's a new spin-off show that we have on our Twitter account, so make sure you're following us there.
Yeah, hashtag Where's Tucky. It's been a great week. The buzz of the show has been good.
Buzz for our show?
Yes.
I thought you were talking about All Out.
No. Let's talk about that.
We will talk about that, but why don't you introduce our special guest?
Yeah, we have talked a gentleman into joining us this evening by the name of Ryan Vogus. He is well known in the Wiffle podcast world.
I'd just say in the region podcast world in general. And when I say region, I mean Northwest Indiana.
And I don't think he chose the podcast life. I think the podcast life chose him.
What do you think, Vogus?
Ryan?
Hi.
Hello. Yes, thanks for having me. I did not want to be a podcaster. I enjoy listening to them, but here I am. I don't think I had a choice to join this podcast.
I don't know that we ever...
I was told I was on episode 2, and
we
here
didn't
I am.
ask.
Well, Tuck, I hate to break this to you, but I think about a year ago, I mentioned to Vogus about starting a wrestling podcast with him, and
True.
that's something that he said he was never going to do, but here we are
Absolutely.
about a year later, August. Vogus is on our show.
Are we going to get the Fam Divided Kubaki treatment where he fades from special guest to co-host over time? We have 3 mics.
Jury's still out. We're going to have to hear
We'll
the
have
feedback.
to get that guy to put his name in the intro.
I want to hear what people think of that intro because I enjoy it.
I think it's hardcore nonstop energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting. It's new and exciting.
There's a lot of reviews online about it.
It'll
Yeah.
make me laugh every time I listen to it. So you're accomplishing something there.
If you picture my face doing it, I think that gets
That's
a lot
what
of people
I
going.
thought the first time. I thought
Everybody seemed to think it was you, Tuck, for some reason. I don't know what it was.
No, I just paid somebody that I've never met before in Atlanta on Fiverr to do it, and he's 2 for 2. He did the Wheelhouse intro.
Oh, really?
Do we know his name?
I didn't
Can
know that.
Can we shout him out?
X Xavier Roy X ZAVIERRROY on
I thought
Fiverr.
this was all one thing.
I almost spit out my water.
X Xavier Roy, and he's a bad man on the Garage Band or whatever.
Yeah.
However it happens.
Yeah, shout out to him. However he's doing that, it's pretty good. But Vogus, this is going to be a thing that I'm going to ask every single person that joins our show. What got you into professional wrestling? When did you start watching? And why are you still watching today?
Good question. It's become a little taxing lately, but I think like a lot of people, my dad got me into wrestling, so I was watching from when I was born, I'm guessing. But
Yeah.
I think my earliest memories of it are probably when I was like 6 or 7. My dad started taking me to shows. Coca-Cola used to sponsor some of the shows at the Allstate Arena, so I went to a lot of shows. I have a bunch of pictures on my Instagram of me as a kid with the Dudley Boys and
Nice.
some cool pictures with the wrestling buddies when I was like 3.
Oh yeah.
And I had like hundreds of action figures that my mom threw away, and I'll never forgive her for.
I was going to say, do you have any of those? Because I can
I
add it to
don't.
my collection.
When we moved when I was like 12, she threw away all of my wrestling figures and all my Pokemon cards.
Hashtag thanks, Mom.
Yep. Thanks, Mom. But yeah, so I watched all throughout my childhood till I was probably 12 or 13, like a lot of people also our age. I fell out of it when I got to high school. And then I think in 2011, similar to you,
Yeah.
right around then, I got back into it. My dad was still watching. CM Punk drew me back in, kind of like a lot of other people. I was right before the summer of Punk, so I was very happy to get back on, and it's kept me ever since. I don't think I've missed any shows. I think you said that last week.
Yep.
I haven't missed any shows, I think, since 2011.
Even NXT?
I've missed NXT, but that didn't start till afterwards. But Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views, I think I've witnessed every single one of them over the last 8 years. And here I am. Been to a lot of shows in Chicago.
We've been to a lot of similar ones. We just found out before the show.
Yeah, a lot of Raws and SmackDowns when they come. But, yeah, I've seen some cool things. Undertaker and CM Punk during that WrestleMania run. We saw that.
Indianapolis?
Yeah, I was second row for that. I showed him a funny video earlier.
You're going to have to see it.
I was on USA Network, so when the Usos used to do the Uso thing during their entrance, they zoomed in on me and Bromeyer.
Nice.
It's
wearing that shirt that he's
wearing the same shirt I'm wearing right
GTS.
Yeah.
It's a very funny video. It's on Jackson's Instagram.
Okay. All right.
So yeah. I think it's safe to say that Vogus is a mark.
Oh, yeah.
Vogus, can you confirm?
I can confirm.
There we go. It's not a derogatory term, Tuck.
No, it's a term of endearment. I'm
starting to embrace it.
Tuck's not a mark.
No, I'm not.
You said you weren't last week.
No, I said my name wasn't Mark. I thought he was. I mean, my name's Jim.
I call you Tucky. Is that loud in the microphone?
No, yeah, my one good ear is like.
I hope everybody
bleeding.
that's listening in their cars and have their aux in. I'm just blaring through their speakers right now.
I hope they were at a drive-through and turned it down a little bit.
But Imagine going to Starbucks.
Hi, can I have you? I'd like a large Tucky.
That wasn't bad, Tuck.
No,
that was pretty impressive.
I will never claim to be as good of an Otis as you. Right. And I'm mad that my name. It's like when my brother and I and Mike from Mikey and the Degenerates and his brother Matt Wilson. I refuse to call him by his nickname.
Boner.
No, I won't. That's not.
We can say that. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
We would. Matt.
So this
and I
isn't
would
a family
be,
podcast like Wheelhouse.
Family-ish. Like the family could listen to it, but like dad needs to be next to the kid, like with the ears.
When I'm
kind of like the eyes with the nudity thing in the old movies, like yeah, because you can't trust the kid themselves to cover their own eyes.
Kind of like when my mother would get mad during the Attitude Era about everything going on.
Just everything.
My dad did not give a shit.
What is there to be mad about? A bra and panties match? I think that's just good wrestling.
I mean, I agree.
It's good, clean family fun right there.
Look what it led to.
Yeah.
Women's evolution.
Yes. Thank you.
You're goddamn right, Vogus. You're goddamn right. But speaking of Mikey and the Degenerates, we are a part of the Overtime Sports Network. Tuck, you want to tell us a little bit about OTSN? You're wearing the shirt right now.
Dude, the Overtime Sports Network is where it's at.
Dude.
We have so many podcasts. You've got the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, AWI Pod, which is another wrestling podcast, Mikey and the Degenerates, Section 247, Wheelhouse Baseball.
Is Wheelhouse dead?
Wheelhouse is not dead.
People are asking.
Who?
Bogus.
Just
Kubaki.
Yeah, that's about it. No, we'll be back. The buzz of the school year, middle school baseball, and
so it's a you problem.
It's certainly a me problem.
You're here right now,
but you're welcome for that.
Thank you.
So check out the Overtime Sports Network, otsportsnetwork.com, or @_OTSN on Twitter. We're always looking for bloggers and content creators. We have a YouTube channel, Overtime Sports Cards. We'll be putting
when's
out.
that coming out? I'm waiting for the next episode.
Yeah,
man.
probably this weekend. I have it. It's on. We're
I'm going to say it out loud, so I do it. I'm going to be writing a blog in the next week about the wiffle ball season of 2019.
You did say this week, but you've had a fairly busy week.
I've had a very busy week. But it will be coming out soon.
Yeah, make sure you're following us @_OTSN on Twitter, and also we are now on iTunes. Tuck.
We are.
So that's a big deal. Make sure you give us a 5-star review.
I did.
Subscribe. Did you? I'm looking at you.
I gave a 5-star review and I subscribed.
I appreciate it. We got 6 people that did. I know Carl Coffey was one of them, surprisingly.
Well, I've got a busy weekend. I'm going to start hitting up the Walmarts and Targets and going to the display cell phones and kind of putting the fix in there, leaving it on the home screen. And I've had some success with that on the Wheelhouse side of things. So
have you really done that?
I'm not going to say. I will neither confirm nor deny.
Okay.
But
I like your strategy. I appreciate it.
What I should start doing is let kids in class bring their cell phones in. You can bring your cell phone in, get 5 extra credit points, show me that you subscribe to the podcast. Okay.
That's a genius idea.
I'm on it. That's right there. That's like 125 5-star reviews.
I made sure when I was in school, I always did extra credit because I was not that smart.
Yeah, but kids these days wait until the 3 days before the quarter ends and don't turn in 75% of their assignments and then ask if I give them extra credit.
You gotta bring in tissue boxes and all that? Is that still a thing or no? When I went to school, that was extra credit. Like if you brought in tissues or something.
People have been known to do that. I am not one of those people. I am the person that steals it from other classrooms.
Oh. All right. Well, that is a very interesting strategy there, Mr. Tucker. But what do you say, guys? Let's talk some wrestling.
Let's do it.
Let's get into Monday Night Raw here of this week, and it was August 26th. A big match happened here, and it was kind of surprising. We had Ricochet going up against Drew McIntyre in the King of the Ring tournament, and Ricochet got the win here. This was my pick, Drew McIntyre, to win King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Ricochet getting a fairly big win here. What were your thoughts on this, Vogus?
Do you remember what my predictions were before the tournament started?
Was it Ricochet and Elias?
It wasn't even close.
Oh,
Both of mine are still alive, and a lot of people can't say that. It was Cedric Alexander versus Andrade in the final, and I have Andrade going over. That's in a text to you.
Okay.
And is there a reason? Are you shooting darts at a dartboard, or like? Do you,
I was hoping.
that's my whole strategy.
It was hopeful thinking, but it kind of just made sense to me. Like, these are two guys that are getting a push right now. No one else really needs it besides Corbin, who's still alive. And Corbin would be awesome with the gimmick because he needs something now after his run.
Yep.
But I just saw Andrade, like, from the beginning. I think this is his tournament to win. And Cedric made the most sense as kind of an underdog that made sense for him to go over. So,
yeah.
I don't know. That was my pick. But the Ricochet thing, yeah, it was surprising for sure because Drew's a powerhouse. He should be the future. They're kind of floundering him for the time being. But
what are they doing with him? There is no direction. You had him with a feud at Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania. And then after that, he's kind of just been Shane McMahon's jockey. And then now he's losing to Ricochet in the first round of the King of the Ring.
As long as they don't touch that chest hair, I'll be fine.
That was it was a good tweet from you,
Thank you.
Monday night.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Takeover?
Yeah, if he had Drew's chest hair and what was it?
Ricochet's abs.
Ricochet's abs, yeah.
I'd be in a good spot.
You're almost there. Give it a couple
I have
months.
chest hair and I have abs somewhere there. So, how about that tag team turmoil?
Yeah, that
right?
happened on Monday Night Raw. It was a match to determine the next contenders to Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman for the Raw tag team titles. It started with the Viking Raiders, which is nice to see them on television not facing jobbers. Well, they did beat the B team, so they did face jobbers, basically. Then the Viking Raiders and the OC fought to a double DQ. An interesting way to kind of write them out of that tag team match.
I don't think because the Viking Raiders haven't lost yet.
Sure.
I was interested when they came out first. I'm like, okay, so either they're going to run the table here or something's going to happen because there's no way they're losing right now.
Yeah.
They haven't lost yet. It would be weird to lose in a random tournament.
It's weird. I feel like it made the OC, who is a strong tag team, kind of look silly. You know,
Yeah, I mean, they were just the champs.
yeah.
I know, but they lost to Rollins and Strowman, and now they're getting double DQ here against. I know the Viking Raiders are no slouches, but it seems like a lazy way to keep the undefeated streak of the Viking Raiders going. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something to protect both teams, and that could lead to a feud coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, that is a good way of looking at it. Definitely. So Ziggler and Rude then came in. So did the Lucha House Party. They're still employed.
Lucha.
Talk to a big fan.
Did you guys see the interaction between Kalisto? Yeah, Kalisto and Braun Strowman on Twitter.
Yes, I did.
That was interesting.
Did you miss that?
Unaware, yes.
Kalisto tweeted out that he's going to be done with the WWE in like 9 months or something. His contract's over. And then Braun tweeted at him, adios.
At least he
That's
uses
Braun
language.
Strowman right there.
Yeah, so it was
Got
very,
him.
very funny.
Yes.
Very cultured person as the Cubs went in the background right now, Vogus. I know that'll make you happy. So Ziggler and Rude defeated the Lucha House Party. Then Ziggler and Rude defeated the Revival. And then Ryder and Hawkins, former Raw Tag Team Champions. And then Heavy Machinery was the last team coming in. Did you think they had a chance?
Son of a gun. I know that they're not going to get the push that Otis and his glorious round pot belly deserve. I had a feeling. But Bobby Roode without a mustache, looking dangerous.
It's Robert Roode.
Yeah.
No.
Call him
Even
what you
Michael Cole called him Bobby, I think, on Raw.
That was Corey, I think.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, Corey got him. But, yeah, no, it's interesting, but I like it.
Yeah, I tweeted about that on our account. I don't know how you're feeling about it. It is weird. Not a lot of people like it, but I, for some reason, do.
I think it's about right. I mean, both of them have the level of power to make that team. Give them a pair of matching trunks. I don't like the mashup gimmicks, like when they just put Chad Gable into Bobby Roode's entrance and did
Right.
that. Make them something unique. I'm a Dolph Ziggler guy, so I like. I don't know if it was exactly true calling Bobby Roode like a super tag team specialist. They commented on Bobby Roode being really good at tag team.
I mean, that's from his former TNA days with Beer
Oh,
Money. So Beer
okay.
Money, like he was in a tag team there, and they were really good. And he's been with multiple tag partners now since, but they've never pushed him like they could have. It's been weird seeing him. He's been another one to flounder since NXT, but I mean, he was an Intercontinental champ. He's got star power. Dolph was just right there. He's been kind of in the upper card for a little while. So
upper to mid.
Yeah, so I think they both have credibility, so it's not hard to like believe that they can win in a tag division that's not being pushed very well.
Yeah, and it seems like they have like the same mentality going to. They have similar characters. They're both very cocky and they can play the arrogant style. They're both good wrestlers. I mean, Dolph Ziggler has always been an outstanding wrestler. And then Robert Roode now, I mean, they don't know what to do with him, but maybe this is it. Maybe this clicks. I mean, look, Strowman and Rollins are tag team champions right now. If they can be a tag team champion, why can't, Ziggler and Roode? So they will face Strowman and Rollins at Clash of Champions. Don't know. What was that?
I inhaled and adjusted my seat.
Oh, okay. That's fair. But yeah. Strowman and Rollins versus Bobby Roode. Robert Roode. God, I keep forgetting, too.
Okay, what's their tag team name? Give it to me.
I was seeing Rudolph on there.
All right.
I was seeing Show Money because Bobby Roode used to be a part of Beer Money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something along those lines. Maybe Glorious is involved. I don't know.
I got nothing.
Okay. Me neither.
The creative juices aren't flowing right now.
I'm sure they'll come up with something very bad.
I'm not. Yeah. After what did they come up? What was the War Raiders like first name and when they came the Viking Experience?
That was it.
Yeah, and so they changed it to their finishing.
Yeah,
move.
I was
It's
gonna
the
say,
Viking
it's still-
Experience.
It is still used today with their
get the fuck
finishing
out of
moves.
here.
So
It's not good.
yeah, poor Viking Raiders, War Raiders,
They had
whatever you want to call them.
They were so hot on NXT, and then they bring them up and change their name, and it killed everything.
Yeah.
They won't let them chant war anymore. It's so frustrating.
That's what happens when you get to the main roster and Vince is running things.
Like the word war doesn't have to mean two countries colliding.
It doesn't have to be negative.
Like when
Literally, there's a women's tag team, the Kabuki Warriors. Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Kubaki?
No.
sorry.
Kabak.
Ooh, pair Kubaki with a wrestler in WWE and put them in a tag team.
Baron Corbin.
Oh.
Because they could both wear their outfits. Like, you know how Kubaki always wears the shirt and tie, and and then Baron Corbin could wear his Applebee's outfit.
Nice.
Shout out to AWI Bod for that reference.
Yeah, both bald. He'd be into the theme song.
Yeah. You know what? We just made the newest tag team to challenge them at Clash of Champions. But only other thing I want to really talk about on Raw was the main event. You had AJ Styles retaining his U.S. title against Braun Strowman. He basically pulled an Eddie Guerrero here, faking a chair shot.
Yep.
I thought this was a very creative way for him to retain because obviously Styles has the momentum right now. You don't want to give Strowman another belt. He's already a tag team champion. He's going to have a Universal title match at Clash of Champions as well. So AJ retains. Very cool finish, but overall, Raw, it was a little shaky for me. But what was your thoughts overall on this main event here?
I kept watching. I continued to watch. You put a title on the line. You put some of those superstars in it. Now, and it was not a superstar heavy show with a lot of the star power. Seth gone, Becky gone, some of those. But
All in their
I
honeymoons.
kept watching. There might be. My ears perk up when there could be a title change and things like that. And I was okay with it.
Yeah, it was fine. I thought it was a creative way to finish the show. AJ holds on. Braun goes over strong at the end by taking everybody out. Yeah, I know. We've seen it before, but it wasn't a terrible way to end the show. I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah, go
what
for
did
it.
you think about the opening of the show? Do you remember
Can
who
you
it was?
refresh me? Was it Sasha Banks?
It was.
See, a lot of people are ripping her promo.
I am on that train. I love Sasha. She's one of my OG loves of WWE, but it didn't click.
A lot of people were comparing it to Dolph Ziggler's "It Should Have Been Me" kind of promo there.
It did have that it's underlying theme kind of to it.
Maybe I just didn't pay attention enough.
She tried to it was almost like she tried to shoot and she talked about like all the backstage stuff, but it just like it seemed, I don't know, it seemed way too scripted.
What was the goal of the promo? Am I supposed to be on your side? Was it supposed to bring heat?
Well, obviously it was probably to, get more heat and get people more behind Becky.
Right. And
And then you bring out my least favorite talent in all of WWE for probably the last 20 years in Natalya to have a
I'm glad we agree on that.
bad match. They missed a terrible spot during the match. I don't know if you remember that either. It's supposed to be like a suplex. It was just the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I need no more Natalya.
I was just going to say, if Natalya was never on TV again, I would not be mad. I get it. She helps out other talent. Like, she trains with a lot of these younger girls. She helped Ronda Rousey get ready.
She's like the David Ross. She's
that's a good
part of the
comparison.
club. Keep her around. But,
But I saw this on Twitter, and it's like so true. Any storyline that she's a part of, it's always we used to be friends, and then you stab me in the back. It's every single time. Rinse, wash, repeat.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
There's got to be different ways to create a storyline nowadays when you turn heel, but that seems to be the only way they do it, especially with Natalya. She's always a part of those feuds, it seems like. But let's move over to SmackDown here. And for some reason, I don't know about you guys, this show didn't do it for me at all. There was one match that really stood out. It was Ali versus Buddy Murphy in the King of the Ring tournament. Phenomenal match. I don't know if you guys ever seen them on 205 Live have a match, but this was eerily similar. I mean, just all around perfect match for me.
That was the one that I had to tune in for. Good spots. I don't know what they call the rope thing either.
Launching DDT through the middle of the rope thing. Yeah.
That was wild.
There is nothing you can call that. I don't know what that is, but he was just moving and it just DDT'd him.
And then it popped up on Twitter in GIF form, and I tried to figure it out. I still nope.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like it's like a tornado DDT from a draping position. It's weird, but I loved it. I've never seen it before, so anytime you can do that nowadays in wrestling, it's a good move.
But here's my thing.
Yeah,
Buddy Murphy a week before beats Daniel Bryan.
I knew you were going to go here with this.
Looking strong. Australian looking strong. And then, all right, hi, Ali.
Well, Ali really hasn't done much lately. I kind of get him going over here.
Yeah, but what do we think about his Buddy Murphy's character, though? Because his
theme song's terrible.
I
got a guy on Fiverr.
It's growing on me a little bit.
It's generic star number 2 on 2K.
But so back every week, he's like against Roman, he was a heel. Against Daniel Bryan, he was the face. In this one, him and Ali shook hands after the match. It was like, what are they really trying to do with him other than show how good he is? Because he's amazing.
That's exactly what I think they're doing. They're just showcasing his talent, and they don't know if they want to make him a heel or a babyface, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a natural heel. I've seen it on 205 Live. His matches are what I tuned in most to. My shout out to my buddy Mez, who watches literally every second of wrestling during the week. Don't know how he does it, but I respect it.
He's got kids too, man.
You think he'd ever come on the show? Does he do podcasts?
He does not do podcasts, but I think it would be worth asking.
He's got good takes. Yeah. Every time I talk to him, that's a guy that he's a mark.
He'll talk wrestling. He's literally a mark. His name's Mark.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about that.
For the Mark.
That is very impressive. I hope you listened to episode 1. If you're listening right now, Mez, episode 2. How you doing, buddy?
Meztique.
Shout out to you, brother. But, yeah, Ali defeats Murphy. Fantastic match. Would love to see more of that for sure. And then after that, that's where the show kind of felt a little off to me. I mean, you had a Miz TV segment basically challenging Shinsuke Nakamura for the IC title.
I love what's going on there. I don't know about you.
Shinsuke or just the
Shinsuke and Sami Zayn. I love it.
Well, Shinsuke needed something, obviously, and maybe that's it. Sami Zayn.
I mean, Sami is great on the mic. He is probably one of the best on the mic in the company. If they lean a little bit more into him being the manager and not him also going after the people that Shinsuke is going after, then I think it's going to be awesome.
Right.
But it's kind of right now in the middle of Sami is still a competitor too. I think if he goes full manager, I think this thing could really take off.
I agree with you there. With Shinsuke, I just don't like the whole Miz babyface thing anymore. I think that's run its course.
Oh, I agree.
And this feud with Shinsuke, I'm totally behind Nakamura here. Like, I don't want to see the Miz win. I don't think him as a babyface does anything for the IC title. You let Shinsuke run with Sammy, see what he can do there. Tuck, what's your overall thoughts on this little feud we got going on here?
So far, I'm in. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't have anything other than what you two said. So,
are we stealing your thunder?
No, I'm trying my best to not be redundant, Jimmy.
That's fair.
Yep,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Anything else on SmackDown catch your eye, Bogus?
Can you remind me of what happened?
There really wasn't much that happened. Like I said, I for some reason couldn't get really invested into this. You had that Miz challenging Bayley versus Lacey Evans, which I know you did not like.
That was one of the worst matches I've probably watched.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Her match against Charlotte was worse on Raw, but no, there was videos on Twitter of like Bayley screaming spots, like you could audibly, and I rewinded back and you can hear her on TV yelling spots because I know Lacey's your girl, but I mean, how long is she gonna be green for? She was in NXT for a while.
I mean, she was there for a couple years, true, but she didn't get a lot of TV time in matches. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, she's got her gimmick's great.
Yeah, it's true.
But the wrestling has to come at some point because
keep sending her down the aisle.
Maybe they'll end up sending her back to NXT because them going live 2-hour show. You're going to need to fill.
What did you want to do that? Oh, the Fiend.
The Fiend. Yeah. Yep. Just have him pop in, roll down, even leave the lantern. Maybe.
Yeah.
Walk back out. I'm good.
Also, I want to say I'm very happy what they're doing with the Fiend. I think you guys were.
Oh, we're going to touch on that very soon.
Okay. Well, all right.
You want to talk? You can
Thanks
talk about
for rolling
it now.
into that. Yeah.
I'm not looking at the sheet, but yeah, I'm very excited about this just because they're not overkilling it.
Yep.
And they've never had the patience to do this before.
Yeah.
One of my other friends is that like Bromeyer texted me. He's like, "Is the Fiend going to come out this week? It's the only way I'm turning it on." And I'm like,
I didn't know he watches.
Yeah. All those old shows that I went to were with him.
Oh, okay.
Usually him or Mez, one of the two.
All right, cool.
We're pretty much confirmed to be going to WrestleMania next year. It'll be my first WrestleMania.
Where the Buccaneers play?
It's in Tampa, where Brian lives right outside of Tampa. So I'm already saving up for that. Catch me there. Catch me watching The Fiend retire The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's my
he thinks it's going to happen, Tucky. He thinks it's going to happen.
If it's not going to happen there, I also think I'll be live for where it does happen at Survivor Series. I think Undertaker might end his career there, too.
I mean, how many times
like
do we
this,
have to have a match where
the one that we're going to?
Yes, that one.
Ooh.
All
maybe
right.
You know what? Maybe we can put in an email or a feeler. Maybe we can interview the Undertaker.
I think it's like the 25 because he's on Instagram now. I don't know if you guys follow the Undertaker, but he's on Instagram. It's weird.
I feel like that's a creepy follow. I don't want to. Yeah.
But he tweeted out or Instagrammed something about the 25-year anniversary today.
Oh yeah, that's for the SmackDown.
Well, he tweeted I keep saying tweeted, but he posted another picture today of him versus himself. It was Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Oh, yeah,
it was like the 25-year anniversary of that today. But I think he's done this year. I don't know. Not a lot of people know, but he's my favorite wrestler of all time. I love him. I'll stand by him, regardless of how many shitty matches he might be putting on.
I will defend him vehemently. He is my man's.
Also a Goldberg guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought that was gonna be thoughts on the Goldberg Undertaker match at the Saudi show.
Not good. We'll leave it at that.
Goldberg, big cut, chiseled. That's a you guy.
I was a Goldberg guy in the 90s.
Yeah.
I wasn't devoted to one. I didn't pick a side.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have old pictures of me being Sting for Halloween when I was like 8 or 9. So I was a big Sting guy, big Goldberg guy, and then I love WWE too. So
yeah,
just a fan. I'll support him. As long as he's not a regular, if he's facing somebody and it doesn't matter at all towards the card, then I'm fine with him coming around.
Yeah, you know how I feel about Goldberg. Not a fan of Goldberg. Don't want to see him on my television screen anymore. But speaking of the Fiend, since you brought him up, I don't know if you guys saw this. This was on Twitter. Sacramento, whatever the hell their arena's name is, tweeted out a possible spoiler here. They said the Fiend will be facing the winner of Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman in a Hell in a Cell match. We brought this up in episode 1, Tuck.
Yeah, I saw that too and had a hell of a run in the comments section and the replies from everybody. A good 4 or 5 minutes just and yeah. Not a good look for whoever tweeted that out.
Did you see that they leaned into it though? Bray and Braun leaned into it. Braun commented on it on that tweet.
Have they deleted that, or is that
No, it's
that
still
tweet's
up.
still
I
up?
just pulled it up. Yeah, it's still up. And
What's the ad? So just in case people want to check it out.
Golden One Center.
Okay.
So yeah, the tweet was Braun, he's going to challenge one of the two, and Braun said, "If the student has to teach the teacher, then so be it. He can get these hands like anybody else. Hashtag my door's open. Come on in."
Who would you rather see in that match? Would you rather see Strowman versus The Fiend or Rollins versus The Fiend? In the Hell in a Cell.
Strowman versus The Fiend.
Strowman. There's a story. There's a history there. I mean, Bray brought Strowman in as the black sheep. I have a black sheep mask.
Do you really?
Fun fact. Yep.
Jesus Christ. You might be one of the only people on
I
the
got
planet
it.
that has a black sheep.
It's hanging up in a closet in my house to scare people if they go inside of it.
Nice.
Braun Strowman was also a Rosebud. People forget that.
Facts.
So was Sami Zayn, Becky Lynch. There's been so many notable Rosebuds. You remember Adam? No, I don't think you do.
Nope.
You weren't around for the Adam Rose
It was
days.
No Way Jose Jace.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
very true. But yeah, that's a rumored match. I don't know how I feel about it. Might be too soon to throw him into the title scene, even though I would like to see The Fiend in a Hell in a Cell match itself.
Absolutely.
The gimmick, the cell, it just fits.
Yeah, if it's not for I'd like to see him in the cell, even if it's not for the title against one of those two, or if whoever wins at Clash of Champions, if he faces the loser, like if Seth retains and he faces Braun in Hell in a Cell, I mean that could be something. If it's not actually for the title, if they if they kind of like swerve away from that,
number one contendership or
something like that.
You know what? That's actually a really good idea that I didn't even think about. And that's why I'm glad we got you on the show this week, Vogus. But yeah, The Fiend at Hell in a Cell seems to be a thing. So keep an eye out for him because he's not really doing anything right now. He's just, he was in my shower earlier,
Let me in.
I really hope they save him for the big pay-per-views like that.
Make him a special,
Yeah, kind of like Brock.
Yeah.
Save him for the moments that he's worth. Because Hell in a Cell is probably one of the top 5 pay-per-views now.
Yeah, Survivor Series, SummerSlam.
And what other real
Survivor Series kind of died off there for a while, but I think
did.
I think it's making its way back, especially bringing it to Chicago's
and making it a whole weekend
is huge.
Yeah.
With the Fox deal and everything, I think it's going to be a stacked card that we're going to see. So
what other pay-per-view is more fiendish than Hell in a Cell?
Facts.
I can't think of anything else.
Put him in the Royal Rumble. That'll be fun.
I don't know how do you even book that?
No, Great Balls of Fire.
Oh,
What?
you don't remember that show?
No.
That was a pay-per-view like 2 or 3 years ago in July.
How about this one? Roadblock.
Oh,
You remember that? Ambrose
I
versus
watched
Triple H?
Roadblock. I was at the Wisconsin Dells like when I was 22 or 23. I was hammered, and I'm just laying in bed watching it on my phone while everyone's drinking downstairs.
I also was in a hotel room watching Roadblock.
Really?
I forgot where it was. It might have been a vacation for myself, too. But yeah, I remember Roadblock, another one of those shitty pay-per-views.
Great Balls of Fire was a pay-per-view in July of a couple of years ago, and during the lead up to it, they made everyone say Great Balls of Fire.
The logo was like a penis with balls, too. It really was. It was like shooting balls.
It was one of the worst things to where like even the talent was going on Twitter and just like tweeting out about how bad the name was leading up to the pay-per-view.
Hold on. I'm going to try to find a picture for you right now.
It's like the Miami Marlins logo. Like a number of people had to say yes to that. And they all did.
I think it's because like
Here we go. So you obviously can't see this if you're listening, but I'm showing
Bad
them the Great
podcasting.
Balls of Fire. There's the shooting stream. There's the 2 balls right there. That was a thing. It did happen in the WWE.
I have no words.
Look at the main event though. Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe for the Universal title.
yeah, that was I was excited about that match.
I actually thought there was a chance for
Joe had a little run in the match, but it was during Brock's streak of not really trying during matches.
Yeah, he does better against those little guys anyway.
Yeah,
the smaller guys.
ever since the was Finn's match first or AJ?
For which
I like
that they
when
had?
people started challenging him that weren't Roman. I think
it
might
was
have
AJ.
been, Okay, AJ. Like Finn had a match with him too. Like,
Yeah.
Once those started happening, Brock turned it up, and I enjoy that Brock.
Yeah, the Brock that we were getting for that last couple months actually wasn't that bad. I was kind of a fan of it. Like the Brock party and all that with the Money in the Bank. I hated him winning, but
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
entertaining.
You did hate him winning. I was happy about it too.
I'm still not happy about it. Honestly, that was one of my worst reactions to a pay-per-view. in my 8 years of watching it.
Yeah, you weren't a fan, but
Man, what are you going to do? Hey, you guys watch NXT this week?
Nope.
Am I allowed to spoil a couple things?
I've already been spoiled.
To me,
so.
yeah. I mean,
All right, the whole internet basically spoiled it. If you don't know,
I saw it because
bro.
you got it spoiled for you, and then you tweeted out the spoiler, so it spoiled it for me.
old dude had 9 followers that spoiled you, by the way.
I know. Is he just intentionally going around trying to spoil things?
Can I ask your thoughts on that, though?
What?
Gags got spoiled, so he retweeted it and commented so that everyone else that hadn't seen it also saw it. So who's a bigger spoiler? The guy with
here
9
we
followers or the guy with 700?
No,
6.
Gags is literally the bigger spoiler, but you get hot and you get spoiled. I mean, it's great balls of fire happen on that Twitter. You just get going. You know, and you hit the retweet, you get fired up. Steam was probably coming out of your ears.
I was not happy, and that's why I blocked that bitch. That's what I said. You're being blocked. I blocked him on our podcast account, too.
Zip.
Yeah, basically.
Zip.
So, yeah, Undisputed Era, new NXT Tag Team Champions. Wasn't the greatest of matches, but I would still watch the show because there was a great match between Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic.
Is that a tennis match?
Fun fact, I saw Dominic Dijakovic live at NXT in Tampa when I was there in what was that, March or something?
Yeah.
I think it was in the springtime.
Who'd he face?
He faced Punishment Martinez. I forget what his new...
Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Big
it
fan
was
of
before
him.
he was Priest, so they hadn't given him a new gimmick yet, but they faced each other. Major botch during the match. It was very weird, but, I mean, he showed the signs of being the guy that he is against Keith Lee. So
How are they going to market that last name?
Dijakovic.
Just call him Dominic?
Big Dom.
Double D?
Big Dom.
Double D works.
Big Dom?
But his catchphrase is, feast your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate it.
He did it 1,000 times at the NXT event.
But for some reason, the crowd digs it. They're like, cool, feast your eyes. I'm about it. I think that's one of the worst things about it.
He was one of the 3 people that you could take a picture with if you stood in line.
Oh, cool.
I didn't, but I got a picture with Casey Catanzaro. I forget how to say her last name.
Yeah,
Catanzaro,
Casey Kettons.
Yeah, she's hot.
Ricochet guy.
She's hot. She's tiny. She's.
Can you imagine Rick? All right,
You know.
we're not going that route. But Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, if you have the chance, go check out that match. Honestly, one of the better matches I have seen on NXT TV this year. So definitely check that one out. Also, Rhea Ripley. Tuck, you ever heard of that name?
I have. Yep.
Love her.
NXT UK superstar coming
Yeah.
over to just regular NXT in America, confronting Shayna Baszler, just takes the microphone away from her. That's it.
She was in the Royal Rumble, and
true.
I was about it for a little while. Yep.
I had that kind of spoiled for me too because Brillmeyer went to a live event last weekend at NXT, and Rhea Ripley was there. And this is kind of
So it's like-
so I knew she was
coming.
She was coming because she wouldn't be at an NXT live event otherwise. So
Right.
They just did it with Pete Dunne, bringing him over from the UK again. Doing it with Rhea Ripley. It's because, Shayna, she's had this run. No one's touched her. Who's going to beat her? Is Rhea Ripley the answer?
I think she is.
You do?
I think they're pushing her to the moon. She kind of has the credibility of being a badass. She's big. She's like Charlotte sized.
Yeah.
She's young, athletic. I think, there's no better competition, I think, than her out there right now.
Yeah, that segment, though, short and sweet. The horsewomen were scared. It was a perfect way to introduce her to the new crowd in Full Sail, I think.
Yep.
You excited for that, Chuck? Excited for Rhea Ripley?
I'm happily married.
She's hot.
Well, I don't think I was.
I'm happily married.
Yeah, you
She's
just had to get that out of
she's
the
so
way.
intimidating that she's hot.
I'll leave it at that.
Can I say one thing, though?
Yeah, go
about
for
the,
it. Yeah, go for it. Is it about her being hot?
No, it's actually just about NXT UK. Did you see the thing with Cesaro?
That
Yep.
he is attending NXT.
Yeah.
And
TakeOver
he
UK.
teased that he would be competing.
Is
There's
so
a
I know,
there's a promo that he cut a promo to where he said he'd be handling things physically. So I don't know if this is a
Cesaro is a
potential,
roadie. Wow.
I don't know if this is a potential transition that they're hinting at, that he may go to NXT UK for a while.
Didn't they do that with Cassius Ono too?
They did, but
And we know
they
the
had-
history with Ono and Cesaro. They were monster tag team in the
Yeah.
independent scene.
Yeah, I'd be all for that, but I think it's interesting. Cesaro probably wants to do it. He's not doing anything on the main roster right now, but having really good matches and losing.
Yeah, I was about to say he's having good matches, but yep.
Yeah, they kind of repackaged him a bit too, and it was very interesting. But you have so much talent on the roster nowadays. I like the idea of moving pieces around. You got Breezango chilling in NXT now. They could win the NXT Tag Team Champions down the line.
Yeah.
This is a good way to utilize your talent. Keep them fresh. you have so many brands. You have NXT, NXT UK, 205 Live, SmackDown, Raw. I mean, you have so much TV time and network time. Might as well utilize your stars, So Cesaro going over there makes sense. But Tuck, we got some breaking news.
This is an On the Mark breaking news update.
I don't know if you boys have heard this, but the WWE has been in contact with a former tag team by the name of Enzo and Cass. Thoughts?
When they initially let Cass go, Cass let himself go a little bit.
Did you see his videos about going through depression and everything?
Yes.
Okay, this is awkward.
No, yeah, he was really going through
Just wanted to put you on that.
tough mental times, so yeah.
I mean, Carmella broke up with him. It would do that to anybody, I think. So
Now she's with Graves, so good for him. But yeah,
Shout out
Enzo
to
and
Graves.
Cass.
Yeah, cool.
You got a chance to see their work in NXT, right?
Yeah, yep, a little teensy bit.
they were massively over, outrageously over. And I love the move because they will be the biggest heels in the world on that roster.
Absolutely. Everybody hates Enzo because of the accusations of, everybody knows what he did. But that was not true. They found him not guilty of that charge. So
Right.
I say give him a chance. I'm cool with this. And with the move going to the USA Network, you need some credible faces out there. Enzo and Cass were arguably the biggest tag team to come out of NXT.
They will draw ratings. People are going to turn in to see what Enzo's going to say with a live mic on USA Network. I think it's a great move.
It's getting a lot of backlash, though, on Twitter. So I could see this other side of things.
That's good.
But shouldn't everybody get a second chance?
Yeah, I mean,
Bring back Ryback.
Oh, boy. Feed me more.
I'm about it. I'm about that life. I'm about whatever Vogus is imitating. Wow. Solid vein.
Tuck.
No,
I thought I saw it.
I don't believe you.
Tuck, trivia question for you.
Answer.
How many titles did Enzo and Cass win?
Oh, yeah, 6?
0.
Okay.
Absolutely none. And I think they would have got their chance if the Hardys didn't come back at WrestleMania. I thought that was their time on the main roster.
Yeah, for sure.
But you had to give the belts to the Hardys coming back. I found that surprising. They never got the chance to run with the belts. I think if they do come back, this is a true report. Give them the belts right away.
I think, their problem was injuries. Enzo got concussed on a bottom rope because he wasn't a good wrestler. And then Cass tore his ACL in a match against Enzo, going over the top rope.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that, yeah.
They had bad luck injury-wise, but they also had bad luck backstage because nobody liked either one of them.
Yeah, and I don't think much people are going to like them if they come back, but it's good if you're going to make them a heel. That's the exact reaction you want from the fans. So that's some breaking news there from the NXT side of things. The reason we really brought Vogus along was because he will be attending AEW's All Out pay-per-view this Saturday in Chicago with my co-host, Jim Tucker. We have a pretty interesting card here, boys, and I got to say, what is your excitement level right now? Both of you, 1 out of 10. Give me a number.
Giddy. I am giddy.
7.
Really?
Yeah, I've been very busy this week, so I haven't really thought about it, but tomorrow after work and then Saturday morning leading up to it, I'm going to dive more into the hype videos they've been putting out. They've been putting out some awesome stuff. I don't know if you've been watching it.
Yeah, on their YouTube channel, I do.
Yeah, a lot of the promos they've been putting out have been awesome. I'm excited because I know what All In was last year because I was there. It was an incredible show. They literally just put everything out there that the fans want. I will be very excited come Saturday.
Yeah, so let's read off the card here a little bit. They got 10 matches here. You got the Women's Casino Battle Royal. No, not a lot of confirmed names here. I know Britt Baker will be in that. Honestly, that's about all I know. I don't know much about AEW, but that's my pick to win.
Confirmed entrance, we've got Britt Baker.
Brandy Rhodes is my pick.
Sadie Gibbs, Teal Piper, Big Swole, Ariel Monroe, Brandy Rhodes, Nyla Rose.
Big Swole, wife of Cedric Alexander.
Really?
Yep.
Ooh,
I didn't know
Yuki
Cedric was
Sakazaki and Ivelisse.
Ivelisse is a name because she actually was a part of NXT, I believe, when they did the game shows and everything, when it wasn't the real NXT. She was one of the prospects there, I think, along with Derek Bateman, who is now EC3. So she's a big name. She came from Lucha Underground. She could be a pick, too, in that match. But, yeah, not much notable names there. We got Private Party versus Angelico and Jack Evans. That also will be on the pre-show.
I know one of the other podcasts I listen to is very high on both of those guys.
Both teams? Or Angelico and Jack
Yeah,
Evans?
them. So I think it'll probably be. They don't really ever. They've had some bad matches on their card before, but I've heard really good things about them. I know one of them's a high flyer, so I don't know.
So on the main card, you got Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt, who Tuck knows a little bit about, versus SCU.
Yeah, Marco Stunt is tiny. He is a little dude, but he brings it. I saw him in Crown Point at a Black Label Pro show. He was there last weekend and used a referee as a ladder to get onto a backboard and spring off of the backboard of the gym that he was in onto 3 people.
Wait, what gym were they? Were they at the fairgrounds?
RDS Gym.
What is that?
It fits 200 people. It's back behind Buddy and Pals.
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. No, I didn't know that they had events there.
They're putting on these weird 4:30 p.m. shows.
That's a
Black
weird,
Label Pro
weird
and
time.
allow 200 people to show up, and that's a popular niche for them. I saw Marco Stunt, and I like him.
Yeah.
Little guy.
I've seen a little bit of SCU. I know a little bit about them because I know Christopher Daniels came from TNA. Yep. And also, isn't his tag partner from TNA still there? I always forget his name.
Scorpio Sky.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to pick up the victory here. I don't know. A lot of people seem to be big on Luchasaurus, though. I don't know much about him.
Have you seen him?
Yeah,
he looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a jacked dinosaur man.
Yeah.
I actually think that guy was on Big Brother one year.
And then Jungle Boy is Tarzana Jace. I got them going over.
Okay.
Because why not?
Tuck, you got a pick for this match?
I got to go with my best friend Marco Stunt.
Okay.
Good luck to you, buddy. Have a good match. Leave it all out there.
Next one, another women's match. We got Riho versus Hikaru Shida. Is that a correct pronunciation there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to pronounce, but I don't know really much about. I know they both were a part of the Double or Nothing show, but there's rumors that this might be the other, play-in to get a championship match on the first episode against the winner of the Battle Royal.
I got nothing to add here, Kyle.
Yep.
I don't know either one of them really that well. I know people are saying that Shida's really good, so I'm going to pick Shida based off of what other people think.
I'll go with Rio.
I'm going to go with Rio.
Okay. There we go. On the mark.
On the
Sticking
mark.
together there. Take
Dang.
that, Focus. Suck it. Next match, Best Friends versus the Dark Order. Once again, don't know much about either of these teams. Vogus, can you tell me anything about either of them?
Best Friends are awesome. They're a really good tag
Trent
team.
Beretta's a part of that, right? Or is that am I thinking the wrong
No,
thing?
that's...
Private Party?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
It's
got me
one of
thrown
them.
off now.
Yeah.
But I got the Dark Order going over here. It's a gimmick they're pushing. They debuted at Double or Nothing, I believe. It was... we were watching it here,
Yeah,
but
we
it
were.
was... it's 2 guys, and they have a bunch of, almost like Undertaker, Druid adjacent people following them around and attacking people. I think they're pushing this to be a pretty big thing, so I think I got them going over in their first big pay-per-view match. Kind of makes sense to have a gimmick like that. You can't lose your first match.
I got the Dark Order just because of what Vogus said. It makes sense to me.
Make it a 3-peat. Let's rock.
There we go. Clean sweep. Here we go. These next matches, I think we all kind of know most of these guys here. This one is a triple threat. It's Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc versus Darby Allin. Tuck, I know you know a little bit about Darby Allin.
Darby Allin's another Black Label Pro guy, smaller guy. He is not afraid to put it out there. I don't know that he quite has the star power to get over against Jimmy Havoc or Joey Janela.
He did just face Cody.
But he did, yeah.
Great
Was
match.
that
I enjoyed that.
Fest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fighter Fest.
Yeah, so, Cody obviously has got a thing for him, and likes him, so...
Yeah, that's why I think he goes over here. I don't think you go to a match with Cody and then go to your next pay-per-view and lose.
Yeah.
I think he might be a guy they're pushing. So
yeah.
I think on their social media accounts, Joey Janela and Darby Allin have been promoted the most. And I think that's why Jimmy Havoc's going to get the win. I mean, a lot of people know him for doing this hardcore stuff. He's really not working as a true heel right now. I think this is where he really snaps and he goes over in this match just because the other two have had their promoting. A lot of people know their name. I think Jimmy Havoc's the lesser-known guy in this match. So I actually think he's going to go over, but this should be an insane match. All three of these guys are known for their crazy shit that they do in the ring.
I'm excited for it. I'm going to pick Darby Allin because he's one of my best friends, too.
Yeah, and Bogus also going with Darby Allin here. The next match we got is the AAA Tag Team Championship ladder match. The Lucha Bros, the champions, versus the Young Bucks. This match is going to be absolutely insane.
I'm so excited for this. I saw a version of it, but I saw Kenny Omega face Pentagon at All In, and that was one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life live. I've seen what they can do. We saw Double or Nothing.
Yes.
It's going to be crazy. Both teams are so good. They're two of the best 3 tag teams in the world. I'll probably
with the Usos.
Yeah, I gotta put the Usos in there because they've never even been unleashed. Really, they're still under WWE. Who knows what they could do if they had no restrictions?
Stop drinking and driving, and then maybe we can find out.
There's that.
Shots fired. He goes, there's that.
True.
We do not promote drinking and driving. Make sure you get a designated driver. Call an Uber or a Lyft.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with I gotta go with the Young Bucks. I think Young Bucks go over here.
You think they win the AAA tag belts?
I do.
Okay.
And then they'll lose them in some bingo hall somewhere.
I think the Bucks they haven't lost since they started this whole AEW thing. I'm gonna go with the Lucha Bros here. I think they're gonna keep those titles, and then eventually I think the Young Bucks will be the very first AEW tag team champions. I think that's what it's building to, and you might get like a title unification match between the two there. So I'm going to go with the Lucha Bros retaining.
I think the Bucks are going to put over a team for the first titles.
I mean, they could go that route
Since they're already established.
They're like the tag team.
Yeah.
That'll be a reoccurring theme for me in this probably, but I think, I don't know. That was my pick. I think Bucks win here, so they lose on TV.
Bucks and Lucha Bros.
DQ finish.
Ooh.
So the Lucha Bros retain.
Oh, wait, isn't this like a death ladder match, though? Isn't there like...
Oh.
I don't think there can be a DQ. Sorry to break it.
I was trying to be Switzerland in that one. Go Lucha Bros.
Okay. All right, so me and Tuck going with the Lucha Bros here. Bogus going with the Young Bucks. Should be a very entertaining match. That's definitely for sure. Next matchup, Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears. Some of you might know him as Ty Dillinger from the WWE. Shawn Spears will be working as the heel in this match. He's accompanied to the ring by Tully Blanchard, former Horseman. I'm going with Shawn Spears in this one just because I think Cody, he is the guy in AEW. He's going to put over talent. Eventually, Cody will get his major title run, but Shawn Spears, fresh to AEW, fresh to everybody else outside of WWE. It wouldn't make sense for me personally to have Cody win, so I'm going to go with Shawn Spears in this one.
I like that too.
Yeah. I feel like they have to put him over. How many times can Cody keep losing, though?
Well, he beat Darby Allin.
Okay. What was that?
He won. Didn't he win with Goldust in that tag match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he just keeps losing. He beat Aldis too, so maybe he has been winning. I don't know. Fuck. Maybe I'm wrong.
Are you still sticking with Cody though?
No, I'm not picking Cody. I'm picking Shawn Spears. But there's been rumors, or I don't know if they talked about it on their show, but Cody's allegedly maybe bringing somebody out with him since
yes.
Tully's coming. The rumors are that it's going to be Arn Anderson.
I saw that.
So that'll be pretty awesome. 4 horsemen against each other. That'll be cool. I don't know. I hope that happens. So
I also think this is a feud they want to carry over to the TV. And I think if you have Cody win, where do you go with the feud after that?
Yeah. Agreed.
Shawn Spears just married the love of my life.
Yeah, the love of our lives.
Yeah.
Mine. But
more Vogus.
Thank you.
You can't. Why does he get the edge in this one?
Talk now.
I mean, he's had it. To me, I've known that he's had it in longer.
All right. Well, I'm gonna find a tweet with Peyton Royce in it that I tweeted probably like 3 years ago, and I'm gonna
submit it to me, and I'll bring it to judgment on episode 3.
Okay. So we got a clean sweep here. Shawn Spears going over on Cody.
Congrats, Shawn.
Yep.
Well, I guess he already won. All right. The 2 main matches here: Kenny Omega versus Pac. This was supposed to be Jon Moxley's match, but we know the injury. What exactly was the injury, Vogus?
A staph infection in the elbow.
Just a touch of MRSA.
Which is what John Cena had when he wrestled. Who was it again? Damn it, I'm forgetting about that. Was it Lesnar?
No, maybe.
But he did wear a big elbow pad, and John Cena wrestled, but that's John Cena, so Moxley's going to be out.
Well, that's what took. So he had his elbow issue with WWE, and he was out for surgery, and then he got this infection, which like almost killed him. It was the same.
Not good.
It was the same infection. So I mean, it's kind of serious.
Obviously, pretty serious.
You don't want to mess.
I mean,
with
it sucks that he's not a part of this because he was like the main draw of this whole show. Was seeing him on his first pay-per-view outside of WWE, but he's not there, and I'm very excited for his replacement.
His replacement, another former WWE superstar known as Neville, now known as Pac.
A better wrestler.
I was going to say, I think the match quality goes up here.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, Pac's awesome. Kenny's amazing. It's going to be...
Pac works as a heel, right?
Yeah, he's a monster, massive heel. He'll never be a face again.
His baby face stuff in WWE was so bad.
He's
so bad.
I mean, yeah, when he was the king of 205 Live or
King
whatever.
of the Cruiserweights, yeah.
Like that was an awesome gimmick. And he's ramped it up incredibly on Independence. He's just an asshole. Which is, I love it.
Yeah, so Tuck, who do you got winning this match? I mean, it's a very interesting thing now that Pac is the replacement for Moxley here.
I just think on short notice, they're going to not. I don't know. Because it is short notice and they've got heat, do they bring Pac in and let him win?
It's a possibility.
I don't. It's
because there's the whole heat with him backing out of Double or Nothing too.
That is true.
There was the rumors that he's been hard to work with. He wouldn't wrestle on the show if he was losing. Was the rumor?
Moxley?
No, Pac.
Oh, Pac.
The rumor was he wouldn't wrestle if he was losing, so he backed out of the show. Who knows if
Pac, come in. We'll let you win this time. Come on, bud.
I hate that stuff. Like wrestling, obviously, winning's cool. It's all about storytelling. You want to tell a story.
I think it was. I don't know how Dragon Gate is, but Dragon Gate's the promotion that he's been a part of.
Is it over in the UK or something?
It's somewhere overseas.
Yeah,
but like, he's like the top guy in Dragon Gate, and he's the champion. So I think that was part of it. Like they didn't want their champion coming over and losing clean.
Oh yeah.
I guess that kind of makes sense then. Yeah.
So I don't know, but my pick's Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kenny Omega's gonna be. He's one of the biggest stars in the world. I think leading into the TV show.
Did you see the new PWI Top 500?
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but Kenny was still 8, and I don't think he really deserves a top 10 because what has he really done this past calendar year? He really hasn't had much. I mean, what that match with Jericho was about within the last year, but I don't think he's wrestled enough to earn a number 8 spot. You had Rollins, you had Kofi at number 4. I don't know if you know the PWI. It's like the top 500. It's just an opinion.
Yeah.
A bunch of people come together.
They've been doing it forever, though. It's been a thing going on.
But yeah,
forever.
Kofi was number 4, and I was surprised with Kofi being that high. Honestly,
I didn't see any of it, but I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
He's been the biggest story of WWE for the last 6 months. So
yeah, very true. But yeah, Kenny Omega, you have going over. Who was your pick? Did you make a pick, Tom?
Kenny Omega, obviously.
Oh. I thought you were leaning towards Pac at first, but he comes back. That'll make it a clean sweep. Then I'm also going with Kenny Omega, just because Pac was that last minute fill-in. If Moxley was in this match, do you think Mox wins? That's tough.
No.
You think Kenny would have still won? See, I think Mox would have won.
I'm intrigued by how quickly that Pac was added to the match. It was within an hour of the news.
Right away, they put it on Twitter.
Yeah, that's true.
So either they knew about this Moxley thing beforehand, or Pac was going to be a part of this show.
One way or another, maybe he would have shown up in this match.
Yeah, because it was instant. Like, you and me texted each other at the same exact time about it. Like,
it was weird.
It was a wild, I don't know, but it was within an hour that they announced a new match. Because I was sitting there wondering, like, what the fuck's going to happen?
Yeah.
This was the main event, basically, and well, here we are.
Yep.
Yeah. We know the true main event, though, the AEW World Championship. The first ever AEW World Champion will be crowned here at All Out between Chris Jericho and Hangman Page. This match is honestly a toss-up for me. I'll let one of you guys go first here.
Tuck.
I need some convincing here. Tuck, what do you got for me?
Well, Jericho is confident in his ability to put Hangman Page over. I don't know that means that Hangman Page wins. He was quoted as saying, he looks like $1 million. He wrestles great. His promos are getting better. How do you make him a star? Put him in the ring with Chris Jericho. How do you make him a bigger star? Put him in the ring with Jericho in a match for the first AEW championship. This is Hangman Page's coronation. This is his coming out party. I'm really excited about it. I've seen enough of him that I know this is the type of the guy that we want on our roster, and we're going to build him into a bigger star in one night than WWE has built any star they've had in 6 months.
You know, that's one thing I don't like about the AEW guys. They always seem to bring up WWE and everything. I feel like if you're trying to compete, you don't want to bring up your competitor. Kind of just do your own thing and let that do the talking. But you see all these promo videos, YouTube video packages, they mention WWE all the time.
Yeah, if you're the brand that and you're as confident in it as you are, you don't have to take shots. But
that's why WWE always has gone the route of just not even pretending like their competition exists.
Unless you're Sami Zayn.
Yeah, like Sami Zayn can say it, but like they wouldn't say TNA for the longest time. Like there was no mentions of TNA until like the last like 3 years. Like when
poached
AJ,
their talent.
Yeah, when AJ came over and Samoa Joe, like they started doing these behind the scenes like packages on the network and stuff,
right?
And
crediting them and all that.
Yeah,
in the videos.
so I mean. Yeah, I mean WWE's approach is the right way. Like, if you're the big shot in town, you don't need to
king stay king.
Yeah,
basically. So yeah, Jericho, Hangman Page. Who you got, Tuck?
I got Jericho on this one.
Any reason why?
I think it's going to be an unbelievable match. I think that Hangman's going to. I think he is going to show very well. I want to say that they're going to hold it off a little bit longer with him. Potentially, but that's why I lean towards Jericho.
I mean, the chase is always the best story. Daniel Bryan's chase for the title, getting screwed out of it. I mean, I can
Kofi's chase.
Yeah, like that's what makes the best storylines for a babyface, and Hangman's the future probably of that company. I mean, Kenny Omega and Jericho and Cody are the right now, but Hangman's 23, 24 years old, and he's already a star. Like, hold it off for a little bit.
Yep.
Going into your first TV here in a month or two, title on Jericho. It kind of makes sense to me.
I'm going to differ with you guys here.
I'm going to pick Hangman Page.
Oh. Are you just trying to throw me off?
And that's how you steal the thunder.
Got him. Wait, are you going with Hangman?
Along with Jericho.
Oh. All right, the only reason I'm going with Hangman Page here is because I don't think AEW wants to make their very first world champion a former WWE guy. I know, I understand it.
Okay.
Like Chris Jericho, it's a big name. You're going into TV. You want to have a big name as your champion. Hey, Chris Jericho's going to be there. He's the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I don't think you want that because he was WWE for 20-something years. You give it to the guy that's going to be your future face. Give it to him now. So people know him as a champion the very first time they see him on TV. You see Hangman Page with the belt, you're like, well, this guy's pretty good. He's 23. You know what? I think you can run with it. So I'm going to go with Hangman Page in this one. That's just my thought on that.
Okay.
You didn't like that?
No, it's a good theory.
Yeah.
They did that with Nick Aldis, though, with the NWA title when him and Cody faced it all in. Like, they just put the title on this random guy. And you're just like, okay, well, he's the NWA champion. I guess he's good. I don't know. I think Jericho, he can be a monster heel for TV.
48 years old, still doing it.
He's so good.
At a high level, too.
Yep.
He's very good. He doesn't look great.
That's true. It's all that like, Jack Daniels.
Like, yeah.
He has been in tighter shape.
Yeah. It's been better, but I mean he's still reinventing himself over and over again. He's awesome. He's a treasure to wrestling. Where would you put him all time?
You know, this is a question that a lot of people bring up, and Jericho's the name that I've always thought about. Honestly, I don't put him in my top 5.
No.
I don't, because I'm putting guys like Shawn Michaels in there, John Cena, Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker.
You're lucky.
Yeah,
He's about to-
Triple H I would put ahead of him.
He was leaning.
I leaned
He
in.
was ready.
Triple H is probably my 6th. Then Jericho's probably my 7. But how can you tell me he's? I mean, he's been outstanding. He's like the model of consistency when it comes to professional wrestling. Always evolving.
Can I give a take here? That maybe a hot take.
Absolutely.
I think Chris Jericho has surpassed Shawn Michaels at this point. His longevity. I mean, Shawn Michaels' like prime was fantastic, but Jericho's had the sustaining career that's been incredible since 95, 96 when he was in WCW. I got him. I love Shawn Michaels, but I think he's done more now at this point.
Shawn Michaels was always like my number 2. I always had John Cena number 1. Michaels was 2 just because of his match quality, but
I mean,
if you put,
I can't. I mean,
it's a good argument.
You can put Shawn Michaels up there for sure. I mean, he's a legend.
Yeah, but no, Jericho's always in the discussion, and there's a reason for that.
It's been what 20? Yeah, it's been like 20 years that he's been doing it, and he could potentially be the top guy of a new promotion in 2019.
A hot, new, juiced, boosted promotion. Yeah.
He's in the main event at the age of 48 in the hottest promotion going in professional wrestling right now.
And we want to see
And we want
Yeah,
it.
and people want to see him as a champion at 48 years.
As much as I want to see Goldberg as champion.
Okay, there goes the whole segment right there. But
Where's the fart soundboard, dude?
this isn't Wheelhouse. We don't have one of those yet.
Now, here's one thing.
Yeah,
You guys want to take a road trip?
sure.
We can go to Washington, D.C.
Oh, I thought we
and
were
see
talking
the television taping for AEW for $8 right now.
When?
Yep.
He goes, yep.
So
That's a Wednesday.
the
I can't do that.
scalpers have completely hoarded the tickets, and the bubble has popped. So that show in D.C. has sold out. But as of 48 hours ago, there were 4,700 unsold tickets. You could cop one for $8. So
Count me out.
what does that look like closer to taping? Because they're very
fill it
sold
up.
out for the previous shows.
What day?
Yep.
It's a Wednesday. And
It's
I
a
believe
Wednesday, duh.
October. Let's go to the calendar here.
If you can find me a round trip flight for less than $150, I'm gonna say $120. I'm in.
Oh, it went down.
Taking a personal day.
Yeah, I can. I'm going to confirm out on that one right there. But
Wednesday, October 2nd, from $10.
Is that the wait? That's the day. That's when they're launching, right?
yeah, it's the TV debut. Isn't that what you're talking about? Right? You're talking about the TV debut.
I think that's Mez's birthday.
$10 gets us in the door.
So he'd probably be in.
So buy Mez a ticket.
Yeah, I'll buy Mez an $8 ticket.
Go to.
I can do that.
$10,
I can,
please.
All right, if the flight
let's-
is,
come
I'm with Vogus. If the flight round trip is under 120, you may get me. You may. I'll consider it because that's a big moment in wrestling history. But the last question I want to ask you guys: we know CM Punk's going to be at StarCast. It's in Chicago. Do we see CM Punk at All Out? Yes or no?
I want to. I'm not going to say yes or no. I will be Switzerland.
You have to say yes or no. I'm putting you on the spot.
No.
Okay, thank you. Bogus.
no. I talked to you about it before the podcast. There's rumors of
Yes, say it.
his agent pushing for him to be one of the leads on the FS1 talk show that's going to be recapping WWE during the transition to Fox for SmackDown.
So awkward.
It's crazy. Like, I mean, Punk just yesterday released his promo video for StarCast where he's in the ring cutting a promo.
Very funny too.
Yeah. I think the Fox money is going to draw Punk back to WWE at some point. I don't think he'll
Money talks.
I don't think he'll ever be a full-timer anymore or even a part-timer, but I think Punk has one or two more matches left in him on WWE.
He's what, 42 or something like that? Like, the dude's not young.
But he's not. That's not old in wrestling anymore. He just went through his whole UFC thing. He's probably in better shape now than he was during his entire run with WWE.
Yeah.
And you gotta look like Batista and Triple H just were one of the like pseudo main events for WrestleMania, and they're both 50.
Yeah, I mean,
So
fair point. But yeah, I agree with you guys. Don't see him showing up, but it's very cool that he's still, going to be at StarCast, interact with fans, and he's not being, totally isolated from the wrestling world.
Yep. You're going to hear a few Punk chants, I bet. a couple, maybe one or two.
You guys gonna start it?
There was a CM Punk chant at All In. It got shut down in like 15 seconds by just booze. It got drowned out by booze.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very quickly.
Wow.
So I mean, it's a different type of fan. It's not a. It's
not a widespread.
It's a smart mark.
Yeah, it's a different
crowd
than the WWE live crowd that you're going to see on a weekly basis. But I think that's all we got for him this week. Tuck, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited for the show. I have a seat all to myself, all by myself. That's going to be an interesting experience.
I've done it before,
but I feel like I'm the kind of guy that I made
it work,
and we're going to make it happen.
I think you're more personable than I am. So.
Well, and I'm completely comfortable sitting between two people and not saying a word either. So if that's how it's going to be,
you are going to chant though, right? Like you're going to get into it, like 100%.
Oh yeah,
like Greg Geerling, get into it.
I will get into it.
Okay.
Now,
I think it's easier to do that by yourself. Unless, like, it depends on the friendship that you have with the person you're going to a show with. But, like, there's some shows I've gone to when we've both been, like, hesitant to, like, start, like, really get into it.
Yeah.
But then there's the friends that you, like, grew up with your whole life, and you're just going to go out there and chant your ass off.
Sit next to you at TakeOver?
Yeah, I didn't chant.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see
Me and Mez are, like, a chill. I chant more than he doesn't do anything.
I get into it.
I always go with Mikey from Mikey the Degenerates.
He definitely probably gets into it.
Great podcast.
He's
avid listener.
Yeah.
He's
great. He's awesome. He's great.
No, he's a great dude.
He is.
Tuck, I didn't think I knew him like a week ago. I said, Tuck, I've met him about
he's at Bridges
8 or 10 times.
Yeah, there's that.
Focus, any closing remarks?
No, I'm just really excited for the weekend. It should be an awesome show. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a great show. There's probably going to be some kind of swerve throughout the show that's going to lead into TV that might be in that main event. Who knows? Maybe somebody does do a run-in and somebody... I'd lose my fucking mind.
What would your reaction
I'd lose.
be? I want to talk to both. You're both going to be there.
I'd take my clothes off, probably.
Okay.
I'm just mad. How close is my seat to you?
I haven't looked at the tickets.
You want to see him naked or something?
Yes.
I haven't looked at the tickets since I bought them. I have no idea where I'm even sitting. You have the better seat than us, though.
Oh, there you go.
Damn right,
That's a fun fact.
I
think you're like a whole section ahead of us.
Yeah, that's what I paid for. So,
but yeah, no, I'm really excited. And then also, thanks for having me on.
No problem. You're making history here.
The first of most. It's been fun to sidecar the conversations between the two of you because your knowledge is both wider and deeper than mine. So anytime. I will put your name on that mic if you'd like. But regardless, check us out on the Overtime Sports Network, otsportsnetwork.com, on Twitter @_OTSN. On Twitter, we have a contest going.
That's dead.
How many retweets are we at?
14 probably.
Yeah. I think I was what were you stuck at, 11?
Yeah, and I made it to 30 because you got to see some growth.
I was number 12, I think. I thought about doing it from my 4 burner accounts, but then I thought that might be rigged.
I wouldn't have cared. It's a retweet.
Well, I can still do it.
Thanks again to Ryan Vogus. For Kyle Gagliardi, I am Jim Tucker, and thank you for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the On the Mark Podcast.
Brock Lesnar going for F5 to Cena for the championship. Lesnar with the cover.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information and updates, make sure to follow us on Twitter @PodOnTheMark.